Check, 1, 2. Hey everybody, this is Johnny Beane, and very cool update here. It is April 18th, 2022, 2:37 p.m. out here in Santa Cruz. So that's what, 5:37 p.m. Eastern? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, there we go. And really quickly, let's do this right. Let's say hello to the top tier of channel members. They are Dave Ennis, Final Freak 5150, Mike Neese, Music Therapy Laz, Majestic PB&J Cat, Wayno, False Flag, Sherman Callahan, Andy Carson, Michael B. R. Habs, Warlag, The Chad, Lawrence Christensen, Lenny Lou and Mary, James Gum, John Moronic, Paul Martin Woods, Stephen Franklin, Michael Smith, The Captain, Thomas Santiago, Joe Christian, Jim Ray Hawkins, David Allen Wright, and Steve Carmichael. They get their names read in the beginning of every show because they are the top tier of channel members here on Johnny Beane TV. And very, very, very cool update here, you guys. If you can't tell by the title. Joe Satriani has confirmed that he's been talking with Alex Van Halen and Davey Roth for about a year about a new Van Halen tour. Now, you remember last week we talked about Jason Newsted. Talking about how he was approached by Satriani, and about doing and Alex Van Halen about doing a Van Halen tour of some kind, some sort of tribute. Newsted says it just fizzled, but according to Joe Satriani, it sounds like it still may be in the works. He said he actually did an interview, and I actually heard this. You can actually hear him saying this stuff, unlike the Newsted article where you just read what he said. There actually is audio of Satriani actually saying this stuff, and I did hear the stuff earlier. So Joe Satriani has confirmed that he has been in discussions with Alex Van Halen and Davey Roth for about taking part in an all-star Van Halen tribute project. Okay. The 65-year-old guitarist addressed the rumor just days after former Metallica bassist Jason Newsted revealed to the Palm Beach Post that he was approached by the Van Halen drummer about 6 months ago about playing bass for the project. Newsted told the Florida newspaper that he agreed to go to California to jam with Alex and Joe and see if it felt right. But he eventually realized that it would just be impossible to do justice to the Van Halen legacy. How could you, Jason said. There's nobody that can top it. So how do you show it honor? I didn't want it to be viewed as a money grab. And then it just kind of fizzled. Yeah, so that's what Newsted's saying. Although, like I said, Satriani, who's promoting his newly released solo album, The Elephants of Mars, was asked about Newsted's comments in a new interview with the Rock of Nations with Dave Kitchen, Classic Rock Show. And yes, I did hear this. So there is audio of him actually talking. Joe, let's see, where are we? Joe said, as transcribed by Blabbermouth, I've been talking with Alex and Dave for about a year about doing something, a tour, something like that. That was going to be a true tribute to the late Van Halen guitarist, Eddie Van Halen, and the Van Halen legacy. So basically what Joe was saying is that they've been in talks for about a year, I guess. And that it sounds like it may still be happening at some point, because he kind of ends the discussion with if it does happen, he wants to do it right. He wants to be ready, and it was a pretty good listen. Actually, Satriani is an awesome dude. I've met him a couple times. I talked to him. I've got a video on the channel here talking to him about 10 years ago or something. He's a real down to earth dude, and there's no ego or anything with Satriani. He's very very cool, and he just basically he just tells it like it is, and he's cool. So hey, let me say hello. Who's in here? We got people here. We got Headstock Harem. We got Phil S. Norwich Guitar. We got Octopus Ears. Stephen Franklin. Hellstorm. Bozique. Jammy. Hey Jammy. Tim Thomas. Vistalight 1972. Facebook user. The Chad. Steve Carmichael. Hey, dudes. Keith Michael. You guys. Yeah, and sorry if my voice is kind of weird. I've been under the weather for about 4 or 5 days now. It's been kind of weird. But let's see. What else does he say here? I'm reading this now, although I did hear it. It's better to. I can do some of this by memory of what I heard. For me, it was a terrifying prospect of doing something like that, meaning Satriani playing all Van Halen music. But I realized that it was something that would be a real labor of love for me. I was just so honored to take on the challenge. It's very complicated, Satriani continued, and all I can say about it is that if it does happen, if it still does happen, I know we'll make it the greatest thing ever for the fans, and we'll all celebrate together not only the great Eddie Van Halen, but the legacy that the band created, the amazing amount of music and the goodwill and good vibes they created as a band. So Satriani, he gets it. He understands. He understands the fans. He understands the Van Halen. And I remember years ago. I remember. Hang on one sec. Hang on. I see questions. Hang on. I remember years and years and years ago. It was a Guitar World. Which magazine was it? February '90. The one with Eddie on the cover, where it has the 3 guitars. In the middle insert is like the Frankenstein 5150 and Steinberger, the photo taken by David Bertinelli. I remember within that issue, Guitar World played Eddie pieces of music, and he had to guess who they were. One of them was Satriani, and I remember him saying that Satriani kind of had the VH vibe going, like he understood it. So that's very cool. Very cool. Let me see. And Bozique. Quick question for anyone in the chat. Does it mean that there's a rift between Hagar and Satriani for Joe to do a tour with Alex and Dealer after working with Hagar before? Is Sammy pissed? No. They actually they talk about that. And let's see. Is it in this article? Let me see. I haven't actually read the article, but I heard the audio. I heard the entire thing. No, they actually ask him. They're like, what about Sammy Hagar? Would he be involved? Is there any beef, going on? Because a lot of like what you're saying here, Bozique. A lot of fans, you guys, a lot of people think there's always like tension between a lot of these people, and Satriani was saying no, there's no issues. There's no issues with anybody at all. And I think what he was. Let me see. Does it say it here? I think what he was saying. Okay, here they are comparing. Okay. Oh, and that goes back to there. Okay. No, he was saying there's no issue with Sammy Hagar, and I think if something like this did happen, I think he would be involved as well. It wouldn't. There's no, like what Kurt here says. No, there's no beef. There's no beef. I think kind of related to that is Satriani said he was surprised. He was surprised that Newsted actually kind of leaked that news, because he said that they were all under secrecy. They weren't supposed to talk about it. And he said it's kind of a there's kind of a code, like when you're when you're a Satriani, when you're any of these in these type of bands, there's always talks about doing different kinds of projects together. Like, hey, Hagar playing with Satriani, Roth playing with whoever, and they all they talk about it and they all know what's going on, but they stay silent about all of it. They don't break their silence about different projects that might be happening. And so he was saying that they were kind of, I think he was saying it was kind of surprised that Newsted had talked about that when it wasn't supposed to. So, but again, what we saw last week, according to Newsted, he said it fizzled out. But according to Satriani here, it looks like it may still happen at some point. Might. Let's see, in Bozique. Hey, you guys. There's no way Hagar would do it without Michael Anthony, and there's no way Roth would do it with Hagar. I don't know, man. But see, again, some of that, that's the thing is, only the band members really know what's going on in these situations. Nobody outside knows what's really happening between these people. You can think there's beef between one person here and another person here. Some of it's made up. I'm not going to say any of this is, but a lot of stuff that's public out there is to create is to get, what am I trying to say here? It's like it's made to buy news. Well, nobody buys newspapers anymore, but it's made to sell tickets. It's made, things are. You guys know what I'm trying to say. But as far as Sammy Hagar and Satriani, there's no beef at all. What do you guys think? Would you guys go see Satriani with Roth and Alex Van Halen? And a possible, I don't know why. It's still pretty new. Alan, it's a terrible idea. Oh gosh. Myself, you guys know. And by the way, if you're brand new here, my name's Johnny Beane, and I do I do like a weekly Van Halen talk show on Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern. But lately, it's been like almost every day because there's been so much news. I'm a huge Van Halen fan myself. I love everything Van Halen. I have no problem with any of it. Any of it. And myself, without Eddie, there is no actual Van Halen. Yes, Alex Van Halen, he is a Van Halen. So if Alex did decide to go and start something else and call it Van Halen, his name is Van Halen as well. He has the right to do that. But as far as the Van Halen that we all grew up on, that music, all that stuff, it's over. Nobody can take the place of Eddie Van Halen ever. No one. Forget it. I don't care how much you sound like him, try to look like him, whatever the deal is. No. It's just wrong. But if there was to be some sort of a tribute tour, and that's what this sounds like this was going to be, or could possibly still be. Yeah. An all-star Van Halen tribute project is what they're calling this. All-star tribute Van Halen project. Right there. As far as getting a guitarist for well, it says all-star, so it has to be a known name. Got to be known. You know? So, one of these three possibly. Satriani is a name. And as far as guitar, as far as that style of guitar, he's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, as far as electric guitar. I mean, who else? I mean, yeah, there's Vi. But yeah, if anything like this was to happen, I could see Satriani. I could see Vi. Somebody like that. But if anybody was to do it justice, and how can I explain this? Let me see. Here, let me do this. Oh, Ned's going crazy. Ned the cat, everybody. There is no Van Halen without Eddie. I mean, like I said, as far as the Van Halen that we all grew up on, the music, all that stuff. Okay. Again, if Alex wanted to put something together, some sort of a show or whatever, and kept it Van Halen, he is a Van Halen, so he has that right to do that. But as far as getting somebody to play the guitar, it's got to be a name. Satriani, definitely a name. Huh? AI Gaming? Yeah, Satriani said he was going to do it, or he still will do it. And he said it's been daunting because Van Halen has so much music out there, and he would have to learn all of it, basically. And he was saying that Eddie's style had progressed so much over Eddie's career, So basically, Satriani was saying that he that still, if it happens, he's gonna give it 100%. So it sounds like it could still possibly happen. Oh man, everybody's mad, huh? What? Do we want some phone calls? You guys, we got 60 people sitting here. Call me. Give me a call. There's my number. Let me know your thoughts on this. This is only going to be a 5-minute video, but look at this. 415-952-3263. Give me a call right now. Give me a call. Let me know. I'll take some calls on this. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation. Let's keep the calls, short though, because I'd like to let several people through. But yeah, there's the number. Number's on the top of the screen too. But what I'm saying though is nobody can replace Eddie. We all know that. But if there was to be some sort of an all-star project tribute, it's got to be a name. Satriani is one of the biggest names there is. We're taking calls. Whoops. Just no crank calls, please. Right, Ned? Hi, you're on the air.
Well, Johnny Beane, Alan Garber, how are you, man?
Hey, Alan, what's up, dude?
Well, as you can tell, I don't have any truck with this. I mean, I'm surprised that Satriani confirmed that this was even thought, and I'm surprised that Al would have anything to do with it. I mean, I think it'd be great if Al would keep playing or writing music or recording music, something else. But just playing Van Halen music for me is, especially with famous people. Because like the famous guitar players, they're their own. They play their own way, and you just can't slot that into Van Halen music. They're just, there's tribute band guys, and they're doing their thing, and that's great. And there's people that are really, really able to play very, very close to note for note.
Right.
But even if you had somebody over there that could get away with doing that, it would still be a ridiculous exercise for someone to just stand there and execute it note for note.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that everybody falls on their face when they try to play Van Halen music. There really was only one Eddie Van Halen, and it's impossible to play that without it. Joke.
Right. Right. But if it's a tribute, and if it's got to be a name though, right? Like a Satriani. I mean, do you agree with that? I mean,
because nobody's going to come see. I mean, even if it was like somebody like Jacob DeRops who can play it really close to note for note, he's not a super famous person, so people aren't going to come to see.
Well,
that.
See, here's the problem. Here's the problem with somebody like, I mean, I don't know who that is. Well, but the problem with having like not a name player, like a Satriani, like a Vi, like somebody that draws like that, especially with a Van Halen tribute. Everybody comes to that, and they're staring at the guitar player. Like the guitar player has to be. The guitar has, if in a Van Halen tribute band, I mean, the guitar player has to be like exactly, or it's weak.
Well, that I totally agree, and I've seen that happen before. And as I've said before. Like, there's really only one guy that I actually enjoy. I mean, it is what it is. But, I will say that there's one thing if you're coming at it from a fresh angle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, our friend Caleb comes at it from a fresh angle. And all the guys in Nerd Halen, they're doing something with it. They're having fun with it,
and it's different.
And they're putting on a show, and it's different.
Yeah.
But that's a completely different thing than somebody that gets up and tries to actually play it. And those guys, as well intentioned as they are, they pretty much fall flat on their face because they can't. They just can't ever execute what Eddie did. And Satriani, that's the thing. There's a lot of great guitar players out there that are great at playing their own music. And Eddie Van Halen was one of those guys. He was a great guy at playing Van Halen music. But really, if he tries to play anything else, it just doesn't work out, And it's the same thing, like with Steve Vai or Joe Satriani. It's going to be Steve Vai and Joe Satriani, like, kind of, sort of coming up with an arrangement and somewhat improvising.
But
it's not going to be.
But here's the difference, though. Here's the difference where you have. That's why to make this work, it has to be a Satriani, a Vi, somebody like that, because they already have their own style. Like, they're known as Satriani, they're known as Vi. So having somebody like Satriani cover Van Halen, it's almost like you're getting a 2-in-1. The Satriani fans are going to go.
I understand that, and I understand the draw of that, and I understand that people will probably show up for it. But it's kind of like watching Paul Gilbert, say, for instance, try to execute Van Halen. If you've ever seen Paul Gilbert play Van Halen licks, it's Paul Gilbert trying to play Van Halen licks, and it's kind of a train wreck.
But at the same time, he's Paul Gilbert. So. It's
Paul Gilbert was playing some of his own music, but that's the thing. I don't think Van Halen is not the kind of music that you can just kind of improvise. You play it as it is. That's pretty much it.
Right.
You can't, because Eddie didn't improvise. I mean, he played Van Halen music the way he conceived it, and he pretty much executed it the same way every time. And that's the deal. It's not it's not like if you were doing a Frank Zappa tribute, you know? I mean, you could go on and improvise in certain portions of Frank Zappa music, but you can't do that with Van Halen music. It just is it's a train wreck, man. I just think it takes away from the power of what the band was. You know, I mean, I just don't see why. I don't get it. I just don't see what the point of it is. I don't see the point of people constantly clamoring for some kind of, thing where Wolfgang gets up and plays Van Halen music, which I stress, he does not know how to play. I mean, he was not taught by Eddie how to play Van Halen music. Everything that he learned, he had to figure out for himself, and whether or not that was accurate is another thing entirely, and he'll never be interested in doing that, because I think Wolf agrees, what's the point? I mean, yeah, there might be some kind of goofy all-star tribute show where you get, Lukather and Billy Sheehan and, all the guys that were his friends, that were players. I could see something like that maybe happening. But even that would have to be like a loose, informal, jammy type of, make a big noise type of thing. But, yeah, I just don't get it. I don't see it. There's no convincing me otherwise. I mean, I want to see Alex. If Alex is going to do music, I want to see Alex do new music with different people making different music. And, I don't see him being in a, Chickenfoot has its own original music, but when they play their shows, they're pretty much playing, it's pretty much a covers show.
Who, Chickenfoot?
They're playing Van Halen covers. Chickenfoot, yeah, when you go see a Chickenfoot live show, like half their songs are going to be Led Zeppelin songs, or they're going to play Van Halen songs.
Oh, you're talking about the Circle. You're talking about the Circle.
Well, the Circle, yeah.
Chickenfoot was all original. Chickenfoot never played Van Halen covers. Because I saw them. I saw them. They had 2 records out. Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. But yeah, the Circle is one of those kinds of things. That is like a cover band, and like even though it's got Mike and Sammy, and it's like Vic does his best, and they put on a good show, but it's still like not, I don't know. To me, it's like it doesn't remind you of how great the band used to be with Eddie. I mean, it's like it kind of points out the fact that Eddie was that good that pretty much anybody trying to play that music just makes an embarrassing noise.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that as somebody who studied, how much I study Eddie and how much I really, really get into the deepness of the music and really want to learn how to play it correctly.
Yeah.
But to get up and actually execute that in a live situation and claim it's a tribute is really like, you might as well call it a comedy show, because it's going to be a bunch of people getting up and making asses of themselves, I mean, Eddie would have a laugh at seeing anybody getting up trying to play his music. Unless it was somebody like, of course, Alan Holdsworth is gone. But somebody on that level, Eddie would love that. And Alan Holdsworth is the kind of guy that would have been smart enough and capable enough to do something interesting with Van Halen music that Eddie would have approved of. But there's like a list of about 2 or 3 people that could have gotten away with that. To me, and Alan Holdsworth being at the top of that list, right?
Right.
But he, Eddie's, the people that came after Eddie that were really inspired by Eddie are, as he himself mentioned, a lot of them just kind of copied the worst parts of his playing and didn't really get it, but it's the people like Holdsworth where, that Eddie respected the most. Yeah, he would like those kinds of people to play.
Mm-hmm.
I would think, in this kind of a scenario. But, I'm sure Eddie, the way Eddie probably looked at Joe Satriani was like, I think Eddie kind of knew that, like, yeah, Joe can play, and he's technically good, but, like, in the end, Joe is really like a Van Halen copy artist in a lot of ways. I mean, the whole dive bomb, locking tremolo, humbucking pickup, E-type music, you know what I mean? It's like those players that came after Van Halen are not Van Halen, but they're kind of like a trickled-down, watered-down version of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
that's the way I see it, at least.
I mean, I mean, some of the stuff that he does is similar, but I think he really has his own style with it, though. When I hear Satriani, I know it's Satriani. You know, when I hear Vi, when I hear Eddie.
Well, that may be true because they can't be anybody but who they are. But if you put on Satch Boogie, that's Joe Satriani essentially playing a Van Halen style, ZZ Top style boogie in the
Hot
Van
for
Halen
Teacher,
style. You know
full
what I mean?
bug. It's got full
Hot
bug
for Teacher.
kind of thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So that there's that whole kind of thing, and I think a lot of these guys would cop to that. Paul Gilbert, all these people who are great players and have their own thing on their own. I think that they know that it's a joke to get up and play, Eddie's music. I mean, I think it's fun when you see like John Five and somebody who's really technically capable, who really loves the music, doing his own thing with it, but kind of sticking close to the script and playing very close to note for note.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of fun, but ultimately you're still seeing somebody standing up there trying to play Van Halen note for note, and there's kind of like not a lot of wiggle room there, unless you're some kind of otherworld genius like Holdsworth, who could have done it in a different crazy way that Eddie would have respected.
Right.
My 2 cents.
Yeah.
I can't handle it. I can't take a tribute show. I can't take a tribute tour. I will not be attending. No, that's a big negatory from me. And I know that's not the popular opinion because there's all these fans on Twitter and Instagram, whatever, trying to get Wolfie to play a Van Halen tribute tour where he goes and plays all Van Halen music. That is ludicrous. I hope that never happens. And I think Wolf is smart enough to never have that happen.
No, I don't see that. I don't see that ever happening. And that's no. Wolfgang needs to do his own thing, and that's great. Although if he was to be a part of something like this, I think that would be great too. Maybe Wolf playing, keyboard or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's like a low rent kind of thing. I mean, it's like a Led Zeppelin tribute is never going to be as good as Led Zeppelin or remind you of how good Led Zeppelin was.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you got David Coverdale on his best day singing like Robert Plant, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
That to me is like that's a faint reminder of what a really great band used to be. And it's the same thing with Van Halen. But I put Van Halen up there with Led Zeppelin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, you and I, we're diehard fans of this band. What about the casual fans that know the music? They know Jump, they know whatever. Like, let's say, like a lot of those, like what are those '70s bands that are like still together, but like the original member is like the drummer. Like the
people that want that and love that.
Like who? Like Chicago, or I don't like some band that's still out there, still touring. People go to see them. They love them, but nobody in that band was even in the band back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Like for us with Van Halen, we get it, but to the casual fan, I mean, that they could love this and not have a problem with it at all.
Well, you're exactly right. That's a great point because it's the casual fans that are clamoring for a reunion of everybody.
I guess. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those are the people that are lighting up social media asking Wolf to play Van Halen tours and all this kind of crazy stuff. It's like,
there we go.
Those are the people that want this. I mean, it's like not. I think the people that are really truly fans, know that the Van Halen existed and now it doesn't exist anymore. And like it's cool when somebody were to do like their own concert and then let's jam on "Ain't Talking About Love" or something at the end of the show, kind of like Pearl Jam. How they would
Foo Fighters do that.
Talking About Love and
Foo Fighters do that, or they did that. Yeah.
Well, of course, Taylor Hawkins did his whole Chevy Metal thing with Nuts Bud Van Halen, pretty much. Yes, I mean, yeah, and that's fun. But, the idea of it being like any kind of like real structure and kind of like heavy emotional level tribute is ridiculous to me. Especially since Van Halen was such a fun-oriented band. Their whole thing was like fun.
Yeah.
you know, like the tone of a memorial or tribute concert is not the same as when you go and see like fun music played by people that are having fun. And that's why it's cool when somebody gets up and just has fun with it, you know. That's why I like watching Caleb play and watching Nerd Halen play, because they're having fun with it and they're entertaining the audience with it, you know. And even when, you know, even the other people, even like Van Halen, when Derek and them are doing their thing, they're just having fun with it. They know it's ridiculous. They're putting all the, you know, the clothes on and the wig and everything. They're jumping around, but they're playing, and it's like a fun thing. Their whole mantra is just having fun and entertaining the audience. The best of the Van Halen cover bands bear that in mind. But everybody else that tries to actually sit there and play it right, they can't, and they suck.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. It's like when the guys get together for EVH Con, and they're having fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are diehard fans that love the music, and they're getting up and they're playing it, and, you know, they've worked hard at learning as much as they can, and they have fun playing it. And that's like the grassroots crazy fans like us. You know, that's like a fun thing, and that's like a little crowd of real in-the-know people, right? To me, that's great. But to have like this kind of structured mega tour of Live Nation sponsored by Budweiser or whatever, you know, memorial tribute thing, it's crazy to me. You know? Anyway, I gotta go pick up my son from daycare, but that's my 2 cents.
Well, hey, Alan Garber, always great to talk to you, and you guys watching this, if you guys don't know who Alan Garber is, you gotta check out Alan. Which magazine were you in, man?
I got my Transmission of Erection appeared in the February 2021 issue of Guitar World.
There you go.
That's kind of where people know me from, and my obsession with tuning. So there's that.
There you go. So Alan does know what he's talking about. He's not just some crazy caller. He does know what he's saying. So. Cool. All right. Well, great talking to you, man.
Although I'm heated about it, and I sound crazy. It's because I care. You know?
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll catch up later. All right. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you got it, man. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Cheers. Bye.
Yeah. Alan Garber, man. He that dude knows what he's talking about when it comes to Eddie Van Halen's style, his sound, his tone. That dude, he totally gets it. He totally gets it, which is great. Which is great, man. Oh man. Let's see. Any man, we got Sean is in here. A lot of people in here. We got the phone is ringing. My arm hurts. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, Johnny, it's Bozique. How you doing?
Hey, Bozique. Hey, man, what do you think? Is this crazy?
Yeah, I got like 3 quick points to make about this, and then I'll get off the air. I'm not going to take up a lot of your time. First thing is, when Jason Newsted, when that news came out, a lot of people thought it was fake. And I'm like, wait a minute, Newsted's like an established professional guy who was in Metallica. Mm-hmm. He's not just some fly-by-night idiot who's going to be lying. So I'm not surprised at all that Satriani just confirmed it. Now, as far as the news itself, I personally, if they're going to do any kind of a tribute, I mean, there's at least 3 or 4 guys I would prefer over Satriani. Not that he's not a great guitar player, but people mentioned Nuno Betancourt, Steve Vai, you know, those 2 guys in particular, possibly John Five, who worked with David Lee Roth before also. I think any of those guys would be a better choice. For me, the thing I've never liked about Satriani is, even though he's a great player, I've never liked his note choice. Like you always listen to him play, and you're like, Steve Vai would have played that better. because they're kind of very similar in that he actually taught Vi how to play.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as them doing it, I would actually prefer that whatever they're going to do, whatever the lineup is going to be, I would prefer that it's like a limited run of tribute shows. My biggest fear, and you guys were touching on this a little bit in the chat, my biggest fear is that if they do a huge tour and it's successful, then over the next few years, we get the perpetual Van Halen tribute band calling itself Van Halen. The way you got like a Leonard Skinner or a Deep Purple without original members. And I personally don't want to see that over the long term, So anyway, that's all I got for you. I'll log off and get back in the chat. Talk to you later.
Awesome. See you, Bazik. Yeah, I can't see that happening. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, there's those bands from the 70s. They're like still out there touring, playing the state fair, and it's like the casual fans. Well, I mean that's what sucks about being such a huge diehard fan of this band, is we want it exactly the way it was. Anything else is not right. But I don't know. Casino, yeah. Kurt says all the casinos. Well, hey, dude, that's as a band, touring, you make more money at casino. I played the casino, a band that I was in years ago called the Mayfire. We toured. We played the Beatles Revolutionary Lounge in Las Vegas. We played. It was a great venue, awesome venue. They put us up. They fed us. It was amazing. Our tour manager actually won like $10,000 or something. This is all true. But as far as doing something like this, as far as doing some sort of a tribute all-star tour, I think somebody like Satriani, I think that's the way to go. Somebody like him, somebody that's a name, because you're going to get his fans going. And like what I was kind of saying earlier, was it Alan? Somebody that called earlier, I was saying, it's got to be a name on the guitar, even though there's only one Eddie. There's only one Eddie Van Halen. If anybody was to ask, you guys all know me, Eddie was the man. He was number one. Nobody can touch Eddie at all. Alex Skolnick can do jazz, Halen, Phil says. Skolnick's an old friend of mine, man. I was actually I knew Skolnick. We were actually hanging out when he got into the jazz and when he started doing all his those shows. I actually recorded one of his shows in San Francisco and gave it to him on CD, and he used it as his booking tape for like the longest time. Skolnick. What was I saying? I don't know. Smash that thumbs up. Smash that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're brand new here. I should have said that 45 minutes ago. Subscribe to the channel if you like Van Halen. This is the channel. This is the place you want to be. This is the where's the card? This is the place you want to be. I do a show Fridays called Exclusively Van Halen. It's a show and a podcast. And actually this week there'll be a lot of talk about this. We're doing a show tomorrow called Talking Guitars and 80s Metal Live. We'll be talking all about the same subject. And then actually I do a Van Halen show on Twitch as well, Wednesdays, called Talking Van Halen on Twitch, and then back to Fridays for Exclusively Van Halen. Although any Van Halen breaking news, I'll bust in and you'll see it right here, right away. What else? What else can I say? I don't know. Van Halen All-Star Tour. Hunter is saying, man, you guys are saying a lot of stuff in the chat here. Anything more than a one-off tribute is a money grab. Grant Fisher. Hey, Grant. Grant Fisher. Good to see you, man. What's the name of his pizza place? I don't know. Oh, you're talking about Vito Bratta? I don't even know. I don't even know. Steve Anderson. Yes, I want things to be like 1986 again. Ah, dude. 1986 was an awesome, awesome year, man. It's 5150 time, man. We know that, man. That's right. Thumbs up, dudes. That's right, John. Nobody even comes close. James G. Nope. When it comes, and see, that's why this is so. That's why this is such a big deal. Like if this was like some, I don't know. I mean, let's take the Foo Fighters. Okay, Taylor Hawkins just passed away. I did a video paying tribute to Taylor. It'll be right about there on playback. I'll rewatch this video and I'll put the cards up later. When I was live talking about that, I had all these Foo Fighter fans in my chat. In the chat, they were just like saying, "Oh, the band is over. It's over." You know, they're all saying, "Oh, it's done." And I like the Foo Fighters. I've got a couple of their records. I'm not a major diehard fan. So, you know, I don't know, you know, their super history. I do know about Taylor Hawkins and how he started with Alanis Morissette touring with her. That's how I first heard about him. So I'm aware of that. Okay. But when I was live paying tribute to Taylor Hawkins, a lot of people in the chat were like, "Oh, the band is done." You know, Dave Grohl said when you know, if anything happened to any of the band members, the band would be over. As a casual fan myself, I could see them getting another drummer and continuing. I've got no problem with that. Okay, so here's my point. You guys. As a casual fan of a band, say Foo Fighters, they could get another drummer. They could continue on. I'm fine with that. That's cool. Okay. Some mega Foo Fighters nerd, you know, could be like, "No, Taylor, you know, was such a huge part of that band. It'll never be the same. It's over." You know, myself being a huge Van Halen fan, love, you know, Eddie Van Halen just being just the best. Eddie was the best. He was the best guitar player. I mean, everything he did was just amazing. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Smash that thumbs up. Eddie was the greatest. Eddie was the greatest. And I was lucky enough that I got to meet him back in 2014 at a private party. A friend of mine had a private party, had a show, and she invited me to the show and introduced me to Eddie. And I got to meet him. I got to talk to him for a little bit, hang out with him, joke around with him. And he was just a normal dude, just a normal guy. It was bizarre, you know, because, you know, you grew up your whole life, you know, watching MTV, reading the articles, you know, I'm one of those kids, you know, I'd watch Live Without a Net every day after school. I learned how to play the guitar watching Eddie Van Halen play on Live Without a Net. That's how I learned all that stuff. I was taking guitar lessons way back before then. My teacher, you know, he would show me stuff, but I knew it wasn't totally correct. So I stopped the lessons and I just started teaching myself personally. That's some of my history. That's some of my stuff. But what am I trying to say here? I've got like several different things going on. Several different thing going on here. Eddie was number one. Okay, so to me. So without Eddie, there is no Van Halen. It's done. Forget it. Okay? But as a casual, if I stepped back and became a casual fan of Van Halen, like I am a casual fan of Foo Fighters or whatever else, but the thing is though, it's very tricky because because of the name Van Halen. Eddie's last name is Van Halen. So let's say it was the other way around. Let's say Alex Van Halen. I don't want to say past. Let's say okay, let's just say Van Halen, we all know Roth left in 85 and Hagar came in. Okay. A lot of people, that screwed a lot of people up. I got into Van Halen in 1986. So to me, Van Halen started as Van Hagar, Sammy Hagar, and then I bought 5150, and then I bought the first record, and then I grew up combining the two, and so to me it was always Van Halen. It was just there was an older version and then the current version, and then even when Gary Sharon joined the band, I didn't have a problem with it because it was still Eddie. It was still Eddie's music. Eddie was still there. It was still Van Halen to me. A lot of people disagreed, and that was too bad. What am I trying to say here though? But let's say if I was to step back as a casual fan and say if I heard that Van Halen was starting up again with a different guitar player, doing some sort of and again, this doesn't sound like a permanent band. This sounds like a tribute, which is what the fans have been wanting. A lot of the fans, and something like this. Even though to me, I'm saying, there is no Van Halen without Eddie, but still, if there was a show coming to San Jose, I'm in Santa Cruz, by the way. Let me know in the chat. Where's everybody watching from tonight? We got 70 people sitting here. I'm in Santa Cruz. Let's say, whoops. There we go. I'm in Santa Cruz. Let me know in the chat where you're watching from. Hopefully you can't hear that. My neighbor's vacuuming. Okay, so as a casual, well, I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. There's like so many things I'm trying to get across here at once. This is craziness. See, that's why we'll be talking about this more this week, at least a few more times. And I told you guys more would be coming out about this. You guys asked last week, and I'm like, no, we're going to hear more, definitely. We're definitely getting more, and here we are. Satriani confirmed. We got Michigan, we got Arizona, we got Canada, we got Massachusetts, we got Ohio, we got Connecticut. Another Connecticut. We got England. Wow, we got London, England here. We got Brazil. Hey, Eduardo. Thank you again, Eduardo, dude. We got France. This is awesome. We got Jay Hannon. I don't know what that means, but Jay. How close are my neighbors? I have a neighbor that lives upstairs. We got Washington. Hey now. Hey, Majestic. All right. We got Canada. All right. So let's say step back. If I as a casual fan, if I wasn't such a huge Van Halen fan and I heard they were getting together, I could see, well, see, here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. It's still, every time I try to go that route, it's Eddie Van Halen. He's like one of the very few people in this type of situation that you can't replace. You can't. You can't replace him. It's impossible. But as a tribute, as I know I'm talking in circles here, but we got new people jumping into this video like this entire time. So every few like seconds we're getting like somebody new watching this. You can't replace Eddie. Nobody will ever right. Yeah. Sound the sirens. Eddie is the guitarist of our generation, unreplaceable. Yeah. Can't replace. There's no way. No way. But how am I trying to think this again? Octopus ears. Well, the Satriani confirmed that he's been talking with Alex Van Halen and Davey Roth for about a year about doing a Van Halen tour. Breaking news. This just in. Joe Satriani confirms he's been talking with Alex Van Halen and Davey Roth for about a year about a new Van Halen tour. And again, tribute tour. Not reforming the band. Because that would just be all sorts of wrong. That would be so weird. That would be so weird. But I think we know our band well enough that they wouldn't like get a new guitar player and then continue on. You know. Imagine if that did happen. Just how bizarre that would be. Because there's so many bands where I mean, but no, Eddie Van Halen, he was so unique. He was Eddie Van Halen. I mean, just his name, just saying his name, it's like, I mean, he was such a, I mean, he was who he was. I mean, do you guys understand what I'm saying here? I know. I'm going to start look like that crazy. I'm going to start look like that guy. Leave Britney alone. You know. I mean, Eddie Van Halen. I mean, just his name. It just makes you happy. Just hearing his name, just seeing his face. I mean, he was. I mean, the person of who he was. He wasn't just a guitar player. He was a force. I mean, he was just, and he just had everything. So he's unreplaceable. There's no way. There's no way. But in this case, doing a tribute, doing an all-star. You guys are laughing. Hey, do we want this to go viral? Laguna Palms. I mean, that's very well. Alex and Eddie may have discussed this before Eddie passed. Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Oh, they definitely discussed this stuff. Of course. Of course. And I mean, I'm sure Eddie would want Alex to do whatever Alex wanted to do. He would give him his blessing. Whatever you want to continue doing, you know. So, I mean, the thing is, as fans, we have, I mean, it's whatever Alex, you know, wants to do and does, he has the right to do that, and that's how it is. But in this case, Tribute All-Star Tour, okay? All-Star. But wait, it does say Tribute Project. All-Star Van Halen Tribute Project. Okay. All right, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe they are reforming the band. Well, in that case, no. Up here it says about a new Van Halen tour. Okay, well, thing is, whatever. I mean, I can just say this: whatever Alex Van Halen and Dave Lee Roth want to do, they have the right to do. Whatever they want to do, they can do it. There'll be fans out there that will love it. There'll be, Satriani has his own fans. So when they did Chickenfoot, I saw Chickenfoot when they played at the Warfield in San Francisco. I remember Sammy Hagar saying to Satriani, I'm like, Joe. He's like, Joe, you've never seen so many women in the audience before, huh? Because at Satriani shows, you never saw women. There was no women in the audience. Although I did see Satriani. Actually, there'll be a card on playback right here. I'm friends with Jason Becker. I've known Jason for about 10, 12 years. Sorry, my nose is itching. And a good friend of mine put together this benefit for Jason Becker called Not Dead Yet, and it was this yearly show. It hasn't happened in a while because of something, but I think hopefully at some point we'll see those again. But the very first one I was at, it was called Not Dead Yet, and there was a documentary. And if you guys are diehard fans, or you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It was a documentary called Not Dead Yet. Anyway, I was at the show. If you watch the movie Not Dead Yet, the Jason Becker documentary, I was at the show. You can actually see me at the end walking into the theater with Jason and with Jason's family. I'm like the guy with the bag. I'm like the homeless looking guy walking with them. Thanks to Chad. Yeah, awesome documentary. Anyway, Satriani closed that show, and I was there. I got to meet all those dudes before the show. And actually, there's videos right up there. There'll be cards on playback. There'll be like behind-the-scenes videos I took. And yeah, there was like 4 women at the show. But all right, so getting back to Satriani and doing a Van Halen thing. As I said, and wow, it's been an hour. As I've said, it would have to be a name to do some sort of a Van Halen project. Like, I mean, this would be an official Van Halen project. Official. Alex Van Halen, David Lee Roth, Holly Lewis. Paulie Walnuts. Hey, you guys. This would be an official Van Halen project, which sounds like tour. But they would have to be a name on guitar, and Satriani, he's a name. They all know him. And he's got the fan base himself and everything. I have no problem with this. There we go. An hour into the video, I finally said it. I have no problem with Satriani doing something like this. Being official, I got no problem with it. But like I've said a billion times, there's only one Eddie Van Halen. He's never going to be replaced. But hey, Zach. But if you have a name like Satriani paying tribute to him, that's different. I mean, we've almost kind of heard this before, actually. I mean, if you think about it, because when Chickenfoot started, like I said, I got into Van Halen in 1986. So to me, Van Hagar 5150 was my Van Halen. And then I grew up on all the other records. I bought them all. And to me, it's all Van Halen. It's all just, it's all the same. When Chickenfoot came out, and it was Sammy Hagar on vocal, Michael Anthony on bass, Chad Smith on drums, and then Satriani on guitar, I'll admit, when I first heard Chickenfoot, hearing Satriani's voice, hearing Michael Anthony's background voice mixed with Satriani's guitar, I admit at first I thought, I thought it was a little weird because it had, there was kind of the Van Hagar sound, but with the Satriani guitar. I'll admit, at first, I thought it was kind of strange. But then I got into it. I went and I saw them live. Actually, I talked to Joe a couple times. Again, on playback, there'll be a card of me talking to Joe about 10 years ago, right here. And Joe, if you see this, contact me. I want to talk to you. Joe Satriani, I want to talk to you, man. If anybody from Satriani sees this, we want to talk to you, man. I really started to dig Chickenfoot, and I was total Chickenfoot, totally into what they were doing. So we've kind of heard this before, like a Van Halen type of thing with Satriani mixed in. So we've heard this. We've heard this. So to me, it wouldn't be so strange hearing him play those songs. So, but again, drop some comments down below on playback what you think about this entire thing. And I need to get something to eat. I haven't eaten. I've been under the weather the past several days. I've been out of it. So, anybody just tuning in, breaking news, Joe Satriani confirms talks with Alex Van Halen and Davey Roth about new Van Halen tour. Tour or tribute? Project. One or the other. So drop those comments below. Subscribe if you're brand new. And Holly, that's exactly what this would be. A celebration of EVH's life. That's exactly what this would be. Exactly. And personally, I think if anybody really has a problem with this, I think you're just selfish. If anybody has a problem, it's just being a selfish fan. If you don't like it, it's not about you. I mean, it's about Eddie. It's about Alex. It's about family. It's about Van Halen. And I think if anybody really understands it and gets it, I think you do. And I think Holly gets it. But hey, let me know. Let me know in the comments what you think. And like I said, join us Fridays for exclusively Van Halen, the weekly show and podcast where we talk all things Van Halen. We'll definitely be talking more about this on Friday. And actually tomorrow, Tuesday, we do a show called Talking Guitars and 80s Metal Live. This will definitely be a top discussion tomorrow with John Mancuda and Neanderthal, probably. Oh, and Dane Zimmerman from Zim's Guitars. So join us. What else? We were live on Facebook today, John Beane TV Facebook page, and actually we were live in the exclusively Van Halen Facebook group, where we're just under 63,000 members. So if you're on Facebook, what's the code? Is that it? There we go. If you're on Facebook, join my Van Halen group, exclusively Van Halen. Go to facebook.com/group/EVH fan page. Join the group. There's going to be a lot of discussion in there about this today. as soon as I approve the post. So join us. Join us. Thank you so much, channel members. We have many channel members here on the Johnny Beane TV YouTube channel. Thank you so much. You guys are already starting it in the chat here. Steven, yeah, Caleb, he's just been really busy. He's really busy these days, so he hasn't been around lately. So, but we had a great show Saturday. We do a show on Saturday nights called Saturday Night Live with your host John BL. Join us on Saturdays, Saturday nights. We do a lot of shows on the channel here. We do a lot of stuff, a lot of Van Halen. So if you like Van Halen, this is the channel you want to be on. You want to hit that subscribe button here. I wear my own merch. You want to hit that subscribe button here on the Johnny Beane channel. Hey, Stephen Franklin, thank you so much for your support, man. Look at that. The lights change. That's a super chat. Any super chats change the color of those lights back there. It's a way to help support the channel, support these shows. It's not free doing this stuff. All right. I am out of here, you guys. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what you thought. We'll be talking more about this tomorrow. And what else? If you want more, you can follow me, Johnny Beane TV, on Twitter, Amazon Influencers, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, SoundCloud, IMDb, Amazon Music, Bandcamp, Reddit, Apple, everywhere. Just follow. Follow me, please. It's a lot of work doing this stuff. Oh, I should have said this a long time ago. Please leave a review on Google about this channel, about these shows. Is it reviews? Yeah, leave a review on Google about this channel, about these shows. Link should be in the chat. That should have been. That might be a review. All right, I'm out of here, though. I will see you guys. Unless there's more breaking news later today, I'll jump live. But if not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Thanks again for tuning in. Johnny Beane. Eddie Van Halen, we love you, man. The greatest. All right, Johnny Beane TV. Bye.